North Korea, under the leadership of Kim Jong-un and his predecessors, is often described as one of the most secretive and repressive nations on Earth. Its brutal policies, strict control over every aspect of life, and bizarre rules have resulted in a society that is extremely isolated from the rest of the world. We'll explore some of the most unusual and harsh aspects of life in North Korea, including brutal punishments, fake cities, strict fashion and dress codes, internet restrictions, forced respect for leaders, and the country's pervasive control over travel, media, and more. 1. Brutal punishments and the labor camps. One of the most terrifying aspects of life in North Korea is the country's brutal punishment system. Citizens, including children, can be sent to forced labor camps for the most minor offenses. The regime has implemented a system known as the 3 generations of punishment, which means that if someone is found guilty of a crime, their entire family, including children and grandparents, can be sent to a labor camp as punishment. These labor camps are notorious for their inhumane conditions, with prisoners subjected to forced labor, starvation, and torture. Reports from escapees indicate that people are made to work long hours in extreme conditions, often with little to no food. Torture is frequently used as punishment for dissenters or those accused of crimes against the state. The mortality rate in these camps is staggering. Public executions are another horrifying feature of the North Korean justice system. People have been executed for offenses like watching foreign films, practicing religion, or attempting to flee the country. North Korea uses these executions as a form of social control, often holding them in public spaces to instill fear in the population. 2. The fake city of Jongdong. One of the more bizarre facts about North Korea is the existence of a fake city called Jongdong, located near the border with South Korea. The North Korean government presents Jongdong as a thriving village, complete with schools, hospitals, and houses. However, it is widely believed that the city is completely uninhabited and was built purely for propaganda purposes. Its brightly lit, well-maintained buildings are meant to give the illusion of prosperity, intended to encourage South Korean defectors to cross the border. In reality, the buildings are empty, and the lights are turned on and off automatically to create the illusion of a bustling town. 3. Strict fashion and dress codes. In North Korea, personal expression through fashion is highly restricted. The government maintains control over nearly every aspect of daily life, and this extends to how people dress. North Koreans must adhere to a strict dress code. For instance, blue jeans are banned, as they are seen as a symbol of American imperialism. Additionally, citizens are only allowed to choose from 28 approved hairstyles. Men must keep their hair short and are required to get a haircut every 15 days, while women can choose from a slightly longer list of state-approved styles. The ban on blue jeans is just one part of North Korea's effort to eliminate any trace of foreign influence. Spiked hairstyles, ripped clothing, and any fashion trends considered Western or rebellious are also prohibited. Violations of these dress codes can result in severe punishment, such as being sent to a re-education camp. 4. North Korea's internet, an isolated intranet. For most North Koreans, access to the internet is non-existent. Only a small elite, primarily government officials and trusted individuals, have access to the real internet. Instead, North Korea has developed a heavily restricted intranet called Kwangmyong, which only includes a few state-approved websites and email services. This intranet is designed to prevent citizens from accessing any outside information that could contradict the regime's propaganda. Even within this restricted system, all internet use is closely monitored by the government. North Korean officials have made it clear that internet access is not a right but a privilege, and any misuse of it could lead to severe punishment. The country has also been accused of running extensive cyber espionage operations, hacking foreign entities to steal information and funds. 5. Forced respect for leaders. In North Korea, showing respect for the country's leaders is not just expected, it is mandatory. The regime has cultivated a cult of personality around its leaders, past and present, including Kim Il-sung, Kim Jong-il, and the current leader, Kim Jong-un. Every household is required to display portraits of these leaders, and failure to properly maintain these portraits can lead to punishment. North Koreans are expected to treat the leaders almost as divine figures. For example, students are taught from a young age to revere Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il, as the great fathers of the nation. In addition, on official holidays like Kim Il-sung's birthday, citizens are required to participate in mass celebrations and pay their respects by laying flowers at statues of the leaders.
One of the most shocking examples of this forced reverence occurred when a North Korean man was reportedly executed for saving his own children from a house fire, but failing to rescue the portraits of Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il. 6. Restricted travel and tourism. North Koreans face severe restrictions on travel, both within their own country and abroad. Most citizens are not allowed to travel outside of North Korea, and those who are given permission are typically members of the political elite.
Attempting to escape North Korea is considered a treasonous act, and if caught, escapees are subjected to brutal punishment, often being sent to labor camps or executed. Foreign visitors are also subject to intense scrutiny. Tourists are only allowed to visit specific areas, primarily Pyongyang, and must always be accompanied by government-approved guides. Photography is strictly controlled, and taking pictures of anything that portrays the country in a negative light is prohibited. Additionally, tourists are not allowed to freely interact with locals without the presence of a government official. 7. Controlled media and propaganda. In North Korea, the media is entirely controlled by the state, and the government uses it as a tool for propaganda. Television, radio, and newspapers all serve the same purpose: to promote the Kim regime and reinforce the official narrative that North Korea is a prosperous, self-reliant nation under the leadership of Kim Jong-un. Foreign media is completely banned, and any attempt to access or share it is met with harsh punishment. All television channels are run by the state, and citizens are only allowed to watch what the government deems appropriate. Radios and televisions are also pre-tuned to state-controlled frequencies, making it nearly impossible for the average North Korean to access foreign broadcasts. Despite this, some citizens manage to obtain foreign media through smuggling operations, although being caught with it can lead to imprisonment or even execution. 8. The military-first policy and conscription. North Korea's military-first policy, known as Songun, prioritizes the military above all else. This policy has resulted in North Korea maintaining the fourth largest military in the world, with over 1.2 million active duty soldiers despite having a relatively small population. Conscription is mandatory for all men, who must serve for 10 years, and for women, who are required to serve until the age of 23. This emphasis on military strength is not just about defense, it also serves as a way for the regime to control its citizens. The military plays a key role in enforcing the government's policies, and soldiers are frequently used to maintain order in times of crisis, such as during famine. 9. Leader lifestyle and dark secrets. While the majority of North Koreans face food shortages and economic hardship, the Kim dynasty has been known to spend millions on luxury goods. Kim Jong-il was notorious for his love of Hennessy cognac, reportedly spending hundreds of thousands of dollars annually on the beverage. His son, Kim Jong-un, continues the tradition of extravagance and is known for indulging in fine wines, exotic foods, and designer goods. One of the most shocking elements of the Kim regime is the existence of the so-called pleasure squad, Gippeumjo, a group of young women allegedly selected to entertain the ruling elite. These women are said to be chosen at a young age and trained to provide entertainment, companionship, and even sexual services to high-ranking officials. This practice is believed to have started under Kim Jong-il and is rumored to continue under Kim Jong-un's reign. In addition to their lavish lifestyles, the Kim dynasty maintains power through fear, purges, and brutal executions. Kim Jong-un in particular has demonstrated his ruthlessness by executing even close family members, such as his uncle Jang Song-taek, in a bid to solidify his control over the regime. This culture of fear and paranoia extends throughout North Korean society, where the ruling class enjoys unchecked power and luxury, while the population lives under constant surveillance and oppression. Life in North Korea is defined by extreme control, fear, and isolation. From brutal punishments to forced reverence for its leaders, the regime enforces its authority through a combination of propaganda, surveillance, and violence. If you like watching such videos, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel.